It is a large minster and a market town in South Yorkshire. It is the main town within the metropolitan borough, which is named after the town. This is Rotherham. Rotherham takes its name from River Rother, one of the two major rivers to flow through the town, the other being River Don, which meanders through the town centre. Rotherham traditional industries included farming, glassmaking, and flour milling. Most around the time of the Industrial Revolution. It was also known as a coal mining town, as well as a major contributor to the steel industry. The town historical county is Yorkshire. A reorganization of local government saw the West Riding of Yorkshire Administrative County abolished, and the creation of South Yorkshire, made up of 4 metropolitan boroughs, named after Barnsley, Doncaster, Rotherham, and Sheffield. The history of Rotherham starts in the 1st century AD. The Romans built a fort by River Rother. In time, civilians moved nearby, and a little town grew up. The soldiers provided a market for the townspeople's goods. However, in 407 AD, the Roman army left Britain. Afterward, Roman civilization broke down and Roman settlements were abandoned. Modern Rotherham was founded by a people called the Angels. This started a settlement called Rotherham, which means the village by the Rother. At the time of the Domesday Book in 1086, Rotherham was a small village. It probably had a population of less than 100. Rotherham had a watermill where grain was ground to flour. In 13th century, Rotherham had grown into a little town. It had weekly markets. In 1483, the College of Jesus was founded by Thomas Rotherham, the Bishop of York. The college taught poor boys. It was closed in 1547, but the education of boys continued in a grammar school. Meanwhile, the town continued to flourish and grow. Also in 1483, the Chantry Chapel was built in Rotherham. The civil war between the king and the parliament began in 1642. The royalists occupied the small town of Rotherham in May 1643. It remained in the royalist hands until August 1644. In the late 17th century and during the 18th century, Rotherham continued to grow, and in 1740 it was a prosperous little town with an iron industry. In that year, a canal reached Rotherham. The canal made it easy to bring coal for the iron industry, and as a result, it boomed. Like many towns in the north of England, Rotherham boomed with the Industrial Revolution. In the late 18th century, the iron industry grew rapidly, so did the population of Rotherham. By 1801, it was over 6,000. By the standards of the time, Rotherham was a medium-sized town. In the 19th century, the iron and steel industry in Rotherham flourished, and all kinds of manufactured goods were made in the town. In 1837, there was an outbreak of cholera. However, things improved in the 19th century. Meanwhile, during the 19th century, Rotherham gradually gained amenities. A water company formed in Rotherham in 1827, and the town gained gas light in 1833. The railway line reached Rotherham in 1838. Rotherham Hospital opened in 1872. Then, in 1871, Rotherham was made a borough with a mayor and corporation. Boston Park opened in 1876, and Clifton Park opened in 1891. Clifton Park Museum opened Rotherham in 1893. Meanwhile, the first public library in Rotherham opened in 1887. An engineer, Donald Bailey, was born in Rotherham in 1901. In 1901, Rotherham was flourishing, and the population of the town was 61,000. In the early 20th century, Rotherham was dominated by steel industry, although the town suffered during the Depression of the 1930s. Meanwhile, the amenities in the town improved. From 1903, electric trams ran in the streets of Rotherham. In 1911, the town gained its first cinema. The first council houses in Rotherham was built in 1920. Rotherham Central Library and Arts Centre opened in 1976. The York and Lancaster Museum moved to Rotherham in 1984. Meanwhile, during the 20th century, the steel industry continued to dominate the town. However, at the end of the 20th century, the tradition industries in Rotherham declined